Welcome back to another episode of Built for Legacy. I am your host, Suheyl Hernandez, and today I have the pleasure of sitting here with
Mario Garcia.
So, Mario Garcia. Mario Garcia has been with us working hand in hand for probably the last 10 years. So, why don't you tell them a little bit of how you got to know us?
So, about 10 years with my company, Phoenix Inspections. I think 10 years ago I wasn't with them. I was a brand new fresh inspector. And I think you guys actually, I don't know if you know this, I was the first class that I was allowed to teach at.
Oh boy, no, I didn't know that.
So I've always been, in my opinion, a well-rounded speaker. But you guys were my first training class as an inspector. And I think I had probably been an inspector for maybe a year, maybe less.
Wow.
So you guys were guinea pigs, and ever since then, I've been doing classes at some points every few months for you guys, but on and off for about 10 years.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. I love these podcasts because we find out so many things that it's just so. I know, why don't you talk to me a little bit about your company, the services that you offer? I know you have a beautiful family, so.
I dig them. So I've been in business about 7, maybe 8 years almost. So it's Phoenix Inspection Services. We do home inspections. Obviously, most people know about them in real estate, with the new purchases and whatnot. But also insurance inspections, mold inspections, all that kind of stuff. So, that includes laboratory testing and all that fun stuff. But a critical part of the home buying process. So it's been a pleasure working with you guys, doing so much. So you guys have, always recommended me, and that's why you guys are like my home real estate team, because I know if I'm going to get one call every few months, it's going to be, hey, when you come in to give a class. So I did about 3 years independently myself with another company, and then I opened my own, and it's been wild ever since. I mean, from a different perspective on your end of real estate. Inspecting homes is one thing, evaluating the condition, but either way, we both ride the market. So the highs and the lows, we both feel. And so that's always been a thing. Anytime I didn't feel like the jobs were coming in, I'm like, let me call Mike and Suheyl because I need to see what's going on. Y'all getting work? No? Okay, because me neither right now. Okay, I just make sure we're on the right.
Throughout 10 years,
page.
we've had a couple of those phone calls because the market does come up and does come down, and we have the busy seasons and we have the slow seasons. So let me ask you, do you do septic tank as well?
So septic tank, I don't, because that is usually done by a plumber. So septic tanks, also sewer scopes or the sewer camera pipe inspections. That's not something we do. Usually, you're going to find plumbing companies or just straight septic tank companies and disposal services. So they might do septic tanks as well as restaurants, their grease cleanouts and all that kind of stuff. But so for septic tanks, it's a messy job, and I don't want to get into it. But also, you need a truck. You literally, to inspect one, you have to pump it out completely. So on average, you're really looking at contacting a septic tank company, but also your clients are looking for probably around the same price as a home inspection, probably in the 450, if I'm just guessing it. I'm not in the business, but 450 to 600 range as well to pump and clean it out. But strongly recommended if they have one.
Yeah. Let me ask you, so you've been in both parts. You used to work for a company, and then now you're the owner, so now you carry that responsibility. How do you feel like when you used to work for someone and now that you're independent and that the business is yours? I want you to tell me the difference, because there's a lot of people that ask that question all the time because they work for someone and then they want to be entrepreneurs and they want to go out there and explore the world, but there's pros and cons to everything. But I would like to know your perspective on it.
You have to be hungry. In most people's eyes, it's like that old metaphor, like all they see is the tip of the iceberg. They don't see what's underneath. That's in reality what people see, and especially in real estate, especially in South Florida real estate, where people, they do a showing and they're already spending their closing money that they don't have yet. And it's we're superficial out here. It's all about the cars and the look, and not so much. People don't have the work ethic, so. You really have to be hungry to make it happen as a business owner, even as a side hustle owner, right? Everyone starts somewhere. You have to be hungry. You have to be willing to do the work. Real estate, mortgages, home inspections, you got to get the work. No one's going to give it to you. So as an employee, you learn it. And if you get good at it and you spend the time and you really care about your craft to master it that well, it'll be awesome because you're like, this is great. I'm really good at what I do, and you can get you can get the confidence. And if you have that mentality to go one level higher, like I can do this for myself, it's really asking yourself the question: can I be self-sufficient? Can I feed myself? Do I trust myself? And do I have the desire to really, to go out there and get it? And that's the hardest step, outside of the other stuff, which is, I won't have benefits, I won't have insurance, and those things when you're starting a business. But as a worker bee, I myself, I'm proud. I know I'm good at what I do. I'm just gonna say it right there. I know I'm good at what I do. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's a gift. God delivered. I signed for it.
Yeah.
No, but in reality, like I knew I was doing a good job. I took the extra time to communicate, and a lot of times it's half the battle. You can be decent at your job, but if you're better at communicating, you'll make more money, and you'll have more people who confide in you. But when I was working for someone else, I knew I was good at what I did. Out of loyalty, I stayed for a couple more years than I probably would have wanted to. And I know that's especially in real estate. You have people who come in your brokerage probably and then leave, and you're like, okay, taught you everything I know. Bye. Yeah, love you.
It's okay. I like to see people spread their wings and
yeah.
and fly,
No, that's
so.
great. Yeah, that's good. And and that works too. But so when I was as an inspector, I stayed because this guy showed me everything he knew and really invested my time. So I did 3 years, and then I opened my own, and it was a little further too. Like they were based out of Broward, so that was part of it. When I looked at my 8-month-old car and had 47,000 miles,
Oh, wow.
I was like, yeah, this is a little bit too much. So stepped out, just made the decision, and then decided I was going to call myself a business owner, do my thing, and step out on that branch. And so now, a few years in, it's hard work, as most people know who start their own business. I'm sure you do as well. You don't clock out. 5 o'clock's not the end of the day for you, for sure.
Yeah, so you remember how we started with a small table in the back, 2 or 3 agents, and then now, thank God, we're 200 plus agents in. So yeah, it's a lot of hard work, and it's very frustrating. And sometimes, no matter how good you do, and no matter what, sometimes you feel that you're not doing enough, and sometimes you feel that you're still not where you need to be, and I believe that that's called being hungry and wanting more.
Yeah.
Right. So, and not settling, because it all depends what you want to achieve, and if you're willing to settle. Like some people ask me, why more agents? Like, don't you have sufficient? I do have a lot of agents, but I would like to reach 1,000. Right. So, and why? Because that's a personal goal. It's not even a monetary goal. It's a personal goal. So it's hard to be a business owner.
Yeah, and what you said makes a lot of sense, because you have to want it. You have to ask yourself what you're comfortable with. Yeah. And for you're not comfortable with this.
No, I'm not.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
Like, and some people settle, some people have enough, and there's a type of a way of thinking that people have, and that we call it in the coaching industry towards and away. And if you have a towards mindset, you're always focused on what's next.
Yeah.
Right? Not in a bad way, not like you can't live in the moment, nothing like that, but I'm a towards-driven person. What's next? This. President's Club. Opening the next branch. Getting this many, you know what I mean? And that's what an entrepreneur has to have. You have to have that mindset and that towards mentality. Because if you have an away from mentality, that means you're going to do the minimum you need to get away from what you don't want. AKA, I'm just going to do enough to pay. I'm doing my physical representation, right? I'm going to do the minimum to get away from the bills so I can live okay. And if you were just okay, that's an away from mentality, but also it's not the mindset you want to have if you really want to go, cliche coming, to the next level.
Yeah, and again, and some people asked me, because, by the way, when you said about leaving the brokerage and stuff, so one of my coaching programs is helping people open up brokerages.
Okay.
So broker associates that it's time for them to spread their wings and fly, I help them open up their brokerage. That's one of my coaching programs. Now, when people asked me, why are you doing this? Like, you don't have enough work, like you don't have enough things to do, like why are you like putting more stress on yourself? And because I have that mentality, I felt that I need more. Like I'm at a point in my life that I need more and I want more. So it's, I have that I want mentality. And it's hard sometimes to keep up with what I want. Mike wants to kill me all the time. He always tells me, remember, I'm 11 years older than you. You're driving me insane. So, Mario, why don't you tell me a little bit about your family?
So I have a wife, and my wife Angie. We've been married for quite some time now. We've been together about 11 years. I have 3 kids, 2 girls, one boy. The youngest is 5, so she's keeping life real interesting. She's every bit of sass, and if you have multiple kids, you know what you let the babies get away with. And I think more so because we know it's our last one, so it's kind of like, oh, it's cute. If it would have been one of the older ones doing that, I would have been like, give them that death look, like no. But no, we're a good group. We have a lot of fun, and it's just, fatherhood is one of the best gifts of life. That's one thing I can say. To each their own. And anytime someone's like, no, I just wanted the ability to go and leave whenever. Children's just not something I ever planned on. I'm like, you poor thing. Because kids are great.
Yeah.
So
parenting is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something. I don't think that it's because it's the last one. I think that age changes it. Like, I think that as we get older,
age has made me more emotional for sure.
Yeah, like I'll tell you. For example, my 2 girls, the older ones, which is 27 and 24, they had it rough. Right? But I was extremely young. So I was 17 years old when I had Eileen.
Oh my goodness.
So I was very young. I got married when I was 16, by the way. I wanted to grow up because remember they used to say the world was going to end in 2000? So I didn't want the world to end without me being an adult.
Okay.
So that's why I got married that early.
Got it.
So Eileen and Michelle had it hard. Like they couldn't even leave a movie at a place. And then Mikey came around and he got away with more. But then about my nephew Ruben, and he's been like another child to us. He's 9 now, but Ruben has gotten away with murder. And I'm like, this just totally has to be an age thing, because I've even let him put a broom in my pool. Like my kids would have never been able to do that. And I'm like, am I getting old? Am I getting soft at my old age? Am I?
Yeah. I think about like my parents, right? And I think about what my kids do, and I'm like, if I would have done that, I would have got hit with the broom. When I think of certain things that, and I think it's a natural rite of passage, right? Maybe in essence, most people think of it as grandparents to their grandchildren, and it's just like, I'm going to spoil them and take care of them. And as the parents who were raised by these individuals, you're like, yo, y'all are getting soft because I wouldn't have gotten away. Maybe a beating, a screaming, and one I probably deserved. So we're not even saying my parents.
Yeah, I got a few of those.
Everything I got, I deserved. Let me tell you that. I knew what kind of kid I was, and I wasn't a bad one. But when I did, that's what you earned. You deserve that, boy. Because I noticed it in my parents. Now my mom will still parent. My mom, old school Puerto Rican. She'll parent anyone's. You don't stand. Your feet are on the couch. You put bájame los pies. Like, but my dad, isn't she cute? He's out there for sure. But,
I don't know. They say that you love your grandkids more than you love your kids. I don't know, because even though I could be a grandmother, I'm not ready nor. Not yet. I don't want to be called.
Not ready for the title?
No, I'm not ready to be called abuelita. No, I am not ready for that. But they say, like, every friend of mine that has grandkids, I've asked them the question, and they're like, yeah, it's a completely different love. And I'm like, I wonder if that's true. And then I wonder if that's what happens to me with Ruben, since I've always been like my brother's mom, even though we're 15 months apart. I've been like his mom, and that's his child. So I don't know.
Right.
Maybe that's why.
I feel you could feel that way with, because your own kids are your own kids, right? So, yes, you love them, and yes, look how cute and all that, but then they come home and like, why is there a hole in this drywall? Like, what's going on in this house? Like, kind of, the messes and stuff. So I think it's kind of easier to just separate maybe even nieces, nephews, and stuff like that to just have that different kind of love than you do for your children, where you want to love them and.
It's hard. You want to love them. You love them.
Right.
And then you want to teach them and you're guiding them and you're helping them get there. And I think that that's why we're stronger with our kids, because then the grandkids or the nieces or the nephews, we could opinionate, but at the end of the day, their parents do that job. So I guess that that's what eases it off for us as individuals, because
no, 100%. Yeah, I mean, you're not trying to develop their character and being mindful of those things. You can just enjoy them 100% outright.
Yeah, because even like, for example, I opinionate a lot on Ruben, because I've helped raise him, and again, my brother to me is like another son, even though again he's only 15 months younger than me, and I opinionate, but at the end of the day, I step back, right? And I'm like, okay, so I accept whatever you decide to do. And then it's funny, he's a character. So whenever I tell him something and then I repeat it, he tells me that we already had that conversation.
There you go. I mean, nothing like the honesty from a child.
Well, if one of my kids would have said that, they would have gotten smacked.
Well, hear it again.
What did you just say? What did you just say? So being 24, 27, and 20 years old, they respect. Like, they know they can't say nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's...
And then little Ruben's just smart. Like, he's just something else. He tells me. The other day, I told him something. I said, please make sure that you do not do that ever again. And he looked at me, he goes, I thought we already had that conversation. No, I thought we had already established this conversation. I was like, I started laughing. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't do nothing but laugh. So I know that you also do coaching, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I've been doing coaching since wow. I feel like I'm getting old. And I'm as young as I feel, I know. But since 2014, I think, at this point.
Because your dad's a coach.
So my dad was a big time coach. So my dad did coaching. He was with the, I don't know if people know this like they used to, but the Junior Chamber International. There's one usually in every region or municipal area. But he was actually the vice president of the Junior Chamber International, which is a worldwide organization, in the early 90s. So he was nominated one of the 10 young outstanding Americans of the United States for some philanthropy work and stuff he did. And when Hurricane Hugo destroyed Puerto Rico, like he went out there and did a bunch of stuff. And then he won Young Outstanding Person of the World from those 10. And so he got it to tour 55 countries and was coaching the whole way in that regard. So he was coaching since like before coaching was coaching, right? Coaching is still a thing that's in its infancy. Most people don't know what it is. Most people know the phrase life coach, but so he started there, and he was always doing it. And I'll be honest, it's going to sound cliche. Like he's like, you got to go to this Tony Robbins event, and I'm like, Tony Robbins, the guy who jumps at you, the demon come out, in the movies. I went to that event and it changed my life. I'm not sure at what age some people kind of wake up to personal development and wanting more from themselves. I feel that can awaken within you at random times or even given whatever might be going on in your life. But that event, like, the whole cliche 9, I walked on the hot coals. I did all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's what you do at his first event. Like after the first day, you walk on hot coals, like to prove, watch what I can get you to do in a few hours. If you want to invest in yourself, imagine what you could do with the rest of your life. So I did that event and I was like, this is what I want to do. So I got my coaching certification. So at this point, with our organization, which is called the Neurostrategic Coaching Institute, we do business and executive coaching, and then we certify and train coaches through the International Coaching Federation, or otherwise known as the ICF. So they're just quick recap. There is no certification or license like there's for a realtor or a home inspector for coaching. Right. So some people have done coaching with someone who just said they wanted to be a coach or listened to some tapes or took a $20 class somewhere. So our accreditation basically, is certified with not only your curriculums evaluated, but you also have to have a certain amount of hours logged and your coaching calls listened to, transcribed, and evaluated to actually get a credential.
Wow.
So so that's what we do. We certify and train coaches.
That's awesome. So, and coaching is something that a lot of people underestimate.
Yeah.
And there's different points in your life. There's points where you want the growth and you're ready for it and everything else, but there is things that happen in your life that make you want to go to that next level. And people just underestimate coaching. And some people think, oh, I can do it alone. I mean, you can, but the whole coaching just changes you completely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've learned lots from my coaches, and I'm very grateful for them. And they helped me unlock a lot of things that I thought I couldn't do, and they helped me get there. So, to me, coaching is a wonderful thing. So, let me ask you, if there was a young man, just like yourself, and you're not that young anymore. No, I'm just playing. It's the truth.
My birthday's in 3 days, so we're
Well, should we tell them? How
I'm
old
feeling targeted.
How
No,
old
I'll be 42 on the 2 days. What's today?
Oh, so you and
on
I
the
are the
on the
same age.
18th. There you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
1983.
There you go. It's a good
Yeah.
year. It's a good year.
It's okay. It's the best year out
It's an
there.
excellent year.
Yeah. All right. So we're middle age, right? We're not young. We're not
I
older.
feel like I'm talking to my daughter. She's like, "Oh, because you guys were born in the 1900s." I'm like, "Hey, you need to pump the brakes."
Yeah.
With a negative tonality here.
But wait a minute. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Right? So to me, I think that this is the age that I've enjoyed the most because I'm not so young where I do so many dumb things.
Dumb mistakes. Yeah.
And then I am still young enough to be able to keep going and do what I want to do, whether it's training or riding bike and I'm still not that old. So we are really middle-aged people.
Yeah.
You need to accept it.
Yeah. I hear
So
you.
if you had someone young, like, by the way, I am starting to feel ancient in this office. You have no idea how many young kids, 19, 20 years old, are signing up, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm not liking this business.
Yeah, no. When you look at the birth year, like you were born in 2008 or
Yeah.
2003.
Yes, I'm going through that.
You don't even know what happened on 9/11. Like you.
I'm
was
going
before I
through
was
a
born.
lot. But anyways, if you had to tell someone young or someone middle-aged that wanted to open up their own business, and they were in that moment and that decision to make between staying to working for someone or going on your own, what would you recommend to them? What would you say? How would you help them?
You have to just take action now. There's never a perfect time. There's never a perfect time to start a business. There's never a perfect time to have a child. Perfection kills dreams. And sometimes when you're waiting for the right moment and you're waiting for everything to be perfect, you're just stalling and wasting time and wasting your own greatness. So just take action now. When you want to buy something, you know you can go to Amazon or go online and buy it. And sometimes you go to the store. Why? Because you want it now. Even with Prime, right? we're living in great times, right? You can get something even the next day, like even at 9 o'clock at night
Or you
sometimes.
can get it the same day too.
Yeah, sometimes
Spend over $25 and that thing will be at your door from 2 to 5.
Exactly. So you can get things now, but the reason, and that's you have to have that inside of you, that desire to go and like actually get in your car physically and buy something is the same mentality and mindset you need to have about your goals or what you want in life. You have to get in your car now. So you have to make a decision right now to go, instead of buying what you want, go after what you want. And it starts with taking action on what's going to give you the most traction. We have something that we call the rule of 80-20, right? You can have a laundry list of items of what you need to do to start your own business, to start your own brokerage, to do whatever it is you want to do. So out of 100% of the things, 20% of those things can actually make you money and get you on the right track. The other 80% is just details. But most people start backwards. I'm going to get the website. I'm going to get the business card. Those don't help you make money. And so it's like, what of the 20% of the 100% of things you have to do is going to get you to take action and actually give you traction now, right? So it's just start today, right? Just take action now on what it is, the biggest thing, right? What is it right now? If I'm telling you right now, what's your dream? Do you need a license? If not, incorporate the name. You know what I mean? Like, incorporate the name. Things are so, a few $100s. You can have a website. You can incorporate the name of your organization. You can order business cards and do all that other stuff, but also you can outsource that stuff. Like, give me a break. ChatGPT's here, y'all. AI's here. You can automate everything. You don't have to sit there and come up with slogans and your about me's and your websites.
So yeah, that's true. You have to take action at the moment because
Yeah.
it's never the right time. Like, oh, I'm going to wait for this, I'm going to wait for that. The people that say I'm going to wait for the right time, they stay waiting forever. I mean, that's just my opinion. But anyways, thank you so much for coming in. Like,
Thank you.
by the way, this was last minute, not planned. He taught a class here today, and I said, come on, let's jump on another episode. And he was like, let's go. You're ready? I said,
I was like, Suheyl's about this. Like, she wants to shoot a podcast with no script, no outline, not even a subject. I just sat down, like, what are we talking about?
Oh, that's it. Listen, it's okay. They ask me, you're ready? And I say, I was born ready.
There you go. Yeah, you did.
So thank you again for your time. It's an honor to sit here with you. And
thank you.
I hope that we can sit here again and talk about something else another day.
Perhaps.
So that would be great.
Excellent.
So thank you again. Well, thank you for watching another episode of Built for Legacy. Remember to hit like and subscribe. Thank you.